guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're all doing well. So as you guys read in the title, it's gonna be a Q&A video and I'm gonna answer all your questions. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do today and I'm really excited for this video and a little bit nervous as well, but that's what we are here for and that's what we are gonna do. By the way, this makeup look that I'm wearing right now is gonna go up on my Instagram, so I'll leave the link right here so you can go and follow me and check this makeup look out. And also make sure to subscribe to my channel before we start this video, and yeah, also hit the bell icon. And this video is going to be long, so I guess let's not make this intro any further long, and without any further ado, let's get into the video. Alright, so let's start with a very light-hearted question. So that was about family. So you guys wanted to know about my family and how many siblings I have and all of that. So let's start with that. I have a big family, my mom, dad, and then I have 3 siblings which are all married and they have kids or they're about to have kids. So I am the youngest child at home. Like, of course, from the first generation, I'm the youngest. So yeah, that's all about my family. Alright, so moving on to the next question. It says, what are your plans after graduating, or something like, are you going to make social media your full-time career, or are you going to do Instagram and YouTube full-time? So the answer is yes, I'm going to be doing this full-time and I really want to make a living out of it. I want to make this my career, and there are no further plans of studying after graduation, and I don't feel like I have to. I don't know, right now I have no further plans, but I might in the future, I might do some short courses or something like that. I have no idea, but right now no further plans. Alright, so the next question says, a dog person or a cat person? I love dogs. I have had a dog, but I've never had a cat. I would love to have any pet, like a dog or a cat, whatever. I really want to have one, but my mom says no. So alright, so moving on to some deeper questions. This one says, what are your thoughts in general about romantic relationships? Also love your work. Thank you so much. So I feel like if you have somebody who understands you, who supports you, who's there for you, somebody you can turn on to, that's great. Who wouldn't want that? Who wouldn't want that kind of a support from somebody? Everybody needs someone to be there for them. And if it's mutual, that's great. I think you're very lucky if you found that kind of love who's there for you without any expectations, without like literally accepting you from within, accepting your good habits, your bad habits, your insecurities, someone you can share your life with. Like literally life is a big thing, and if you can share what's in your mind right here with somebody, that's very beautiful. That kind of connection is very, very rare. So yeah, if you have somebody like that in your life, wow, great, congratulations to you. But I would also say that don't be pressurized to get into a relationship because everybody these days seems to be having one. Don't feel like you need someone to be there for you. Unless you are there for you, you can't be there for somebody else. So my point is, don't be pressurized to have a boyfriend or a girlfriend. But if you stumble upon somebody who's selflessly in love with you, then congratulations. Right. So a lot of you guys surprisingly have asked me if I'm engaged. No, I'm not. And some of you guys wanted to know my thoughts on marriage. I think marriage is beautiful. A commitment to be with someone forever is great. I think that's very, very beautiful if you can find someone to be like literally that committed to them that you want to spend the rest of your life with them. I think that's great. I would love to get married one day. I have big plans about my marriage. Yeah, I think it's beautiful. Alright, so next question is, did you face any heartbreak in relationship? How did you overcome it? So I think we all have some point in our lives faced heartbreak. I'm not going to talk about it in a relationship perspective, but in general we get our hearts broken almost every day. And like life is a difficult thing, and none of us get through it without having a few scars on our back. So I've had mine share. So it's not just about like relationship. People break your heart. You would have obviously intentionally or unintentionally broken people's heart. So yeah, we have all had heartbreaks. The question that you asked is how did I get over it? Me, it's like when I finally realized that things are literally very badly fucking up my mental space. So I stop for a while. I feel them, but I let it go when I know it's the only thing to left to do. Yeah, so that's how it goes with me. How do you try to let not judge people? So I think your question is, how do you not fear judgment from other people? So I think you can't do anything about people judging you. They will anyway judge you no matter what you do, so you should actually do whatever you can. Now also, another question that I think I should answer with this question is, who are the people that you're worried about? Like, are you worried about your family judging you? Are you worried about your friends, your best friends judging you? Or are you just worried about people that don't even matter to you judging you? So if, first of all, if it's this people that you know have no importance in your life are judging you, let them. I mean, you can't do anything about it, and honestly you shouldn't waste your time doing justifying your actions to them. So now if it's about your family or somebody who's very important to you, and you know you don't want them to judge you, try and have a conversation with them. Try and tell them your point of view. Try and listen to their point of view as well, because most of the time we don't do this. We are like, हाँ judge करते हो तो करते रहो. But if that person is important to you, try and talk to them. But अगर एक दो तीन बार also they do not understand what are you trying to say, then stop it. Then don't do it. Then you keep on doing whatever you want. At some point you will have to let go of that family, that toxic family member who just tries to judge you all the time without having this 1% ki, let me just listen what this person wants to say. So yeah, then you can't do anything. Then I think you will have to just let it. Do you have like two voices in your head, one loving, other criticizes? How do you manage and let self-love win? Wow, that's a beautiful question. Of course, every one of us has two voices in our heads, and that's very normal. You're not the only one. So there will always be a voice that always will criticize you, your actions, and it's gonna come from within. It's not even about other people. Now you're just sitting alone in your room and you're like, why did I do this? If I'm right, if I'm not right, what would happen? What would they think of me? And all of this. And then there will be the another voice that's very calm and that always tells you that you're right. You find whatever you have done or whatever you are about to do, it's okay. It's okay to be there, feel it, everything. This voice is like your best friend, and this one is a toxic friend. So it's okay to have them both, but as a controller of your mind, of your life, you need to choose which voice to listen to. You have to consciously listen to your positive voice. That's obviously going to be difficult in starting, but you have to consciously make an effort to be happy, to accept what this best friend voice wants to say to you. And and self-love is just about acceptance. Like, literally accept your good points, your bad points, accept who you are. And it's not about that only listen to this best friend voice because it's only telling you, you're always good, you're fine, you're good, everything is like, that's great. But you also need to see if there is any improvement that you require. If there is anything that you could do better, you have to do it. But also stop criticizing yourself all the time. Listen, anything that happens in your life is not always your fault. So just calm down, breathe, relax, and sometimes let just life show you what's gonna happen, and not be so worried about what this voice is saying. So alright, so the next question is, define self-love in a word. Acceptance. For me, it is acceptance. Any kind of love is based on acceptance. How much you accept the good things, the bad things, and then you try and improve those bad things. Like, you're not just sitting there and saying, it's okay, I accept I'm a bad person. No, work on it. Be a better person, be a better version of myself. So yeah, it's all about acceptance. Like, you accept your husband, your spouse, your brother, sister, best friend. You accept their shortcomings, but you still love them. That's what you need to do it for yourself. Accept who you are, accept your shortcomings, and still love yourself like no one's business. Alright, so the next question is 3 priorities of your life. For me, it has to be my family, and next one has to be these like 4 to 5 people that I can count in one hand. Of course, family, or they can be like literally on the first place, and then it has to be my career and me. That's all that I think. The next question is, how can I stop stalking some people that I know I shouldn't? Relax, we are all guilty of it at some point, and the fact that you're asking this question, for sure you know that you shouldn't be doing it. Now what I feel like is, when we stalk some people, and now especially because we have social media, you can do it all day all night, which is very, very toxic to you. Now you're stalking this person maybe because you feel like at least there is some connection that is left, that is, you can literally stalk this person, you can know what he's doing or she's doing, or what's going on, and have they moved on in their lives, or have they do they still miss you. That's a very toxic place to be in. It fucks you up, it literally fucks you up, and for the first few days, months, you can't really do anything about it, but honestly, now when you know this is not healthy for you, you have to stop it. Like literally you have to stop it. And I know it gets difficult, but close down your accounts. Like literally log out of your Instagram, log out of your Facebook, wherever you're stalking this person. I mean, you need to stop doing it at some point, so that you have that mental space, peace to literally work on yourself, to see yourself in different light, and you will eventually have to stop doing it. And after some point you will actually get over it. You will be like, theek hai, okay, done. You need to give yourself that closure, that you're looking out from them. You're only stalking them because you just want to know what are they doing, and if you could have that last conversation with them. But honestly, even if you had that last conversation with them, it's just not gonna do any good to you. So yeah, maybe just log out of your accounts. That's the only thing you can do. Right, so the next question is, what motivates you? For me, what motivates me is the future me. Like who I want to be. That image in my mind is so clear. I know where I want to go, and I know what I want to do, what I want to achieve in my life. That girl right here in my mind motivates me. I know to be there, I know I need to be doing this and that and that and that, and I do it because I really want to be this person that is in my mind. I want to achieve that. So I think the kind of lifestyle that I want motivates me to do whatever I'm doing. So positive, cutie pie. Thank you. But honestly, I'm not positive all the time. I try to be as much as I can, but I think it comes from listening to positive people, listening to positive podcasts, and reading books that make you understand life on a different note altogether. Next question is one book that changed you in a good way. So it has to be The Secret. I read that book when I was maybe like 11, 12, or I don't know, really young. That book literally made me feel anything is possible. Law of attraction, if you know about it. That book has always motivated me to know that I can achieve anything that I want in my life. So yeah, that was the first book that kind of changed. Don't you feel anxiety and depression during these times? Of course there are days where we all feel anxious and depressed, and you feel like this is never going to end, and you can't do anything about it, and you're stuck, and life is shit. But also there are days when you feel like everything is beautiful, everything is great, and you're doing good, and everything is gonna work out. So of course I do have those days when I don't feel like getting up, days when I would cry for no reason, like literally no reason. At least 2 times in a day I would cry for no reasons at all. And I don't know why I'm getting teary-eyed right now, But yeah, that happens, so that's very normal. I hope you guys can overcome it, and the way I overcome it is listening to positive podcasts, as I said, reading books, and literally listening to these people. I will put their pictures right here so you can see. They really help me come out of anxiety and depression and just weird overthinking thoughts. So yeah, if it might helps you, then please listen to these people. They are great. Question is, what's your go-to quote? I am a sucker for quote. I literally use Instagram just to look at makeup and quote. Quote that I read a few days ago and it stuck with me. It is from Bhagavad Gita. It says, detachment is not that you own nothing, but detachment is that nothing owns you. And that stuck with me. I mean, wow. That is something to live by. The next question we have is, how would you know if the relationship is worth fighting for? Now, I cannot answer this question for you, but I would want you to ask yourself, if you are the only one fighting for it, if you're the only one trying to work on it, if you're the only one who wants to fix things, if that's the answer, then I think that's your cue to walk away. But if the other person is also trying and they want to have a conversation with you and they want to work things out and they really want to sit with you, go through that difficult conversation and make things work, because they also want to have you in their life and they don't want to lose you, then yes, please work on it, please work on that relationship, because not always people will not do all these difficult things to be with you. So if there is someone who literally wants to do that for you, who wants to go through the bad phase to be with you, so because they know you both of your life will be good, it will be great if you get through this. So yeah, if you have that kind of a person that you're dealing with, then of course fight for them, but don't fight with them. Like, it is you and this person against a problem, not you versus this person. If it is that point in your life where you feel like you can't do anything because you're the only one trying to make it work, you're the only one trying to fix things, or you're the only one actually, that they are not even there. So don't let yourself go through that. Make sure that the one that you're fighting for is actually there to witness you, if not be with you through this, but at least he's there or she's there to witness what limits would you cross to be with that person. If they don't have any idea, and what are you even doing this for? I mean, I'm not saying कि उसको जताओ कि तुम उसके लिए क्या करोगे, but if it's a situation like this where you have to work it out, and then you're not the only one who can do it, the other person also has to be there. So I think you understand what I'm trying to say, and I hope you get through it, and if not, I hope you have the courage to let it go. Last question of the day we have, I feel like a constant need to explain myself. Now I want you to ask yourself, who is this person that you want to explain things to? If it is like a misunderstanding and you have to explain yourself and the other person doesn't understand you, then of course do it. Try and have a conversation with them. Try and sit with them and have a healthy conversation with them, and not like, don't sit to argue and to give answers, and try and fix that problem that is causing, problems in your life. And if this person matters a lot to you, do it, and do it once, twice, but there has to be a limit. If you feel like you're always explaining yourself to this person and they just don't understand you and they just don't try to understand you, then you can't do anything about it. You will eventually have to stop explaining yourself. Like, you need to know where you need to give explanations and where you don't need to. First of all, whatever this situation might be, I would really want you to try from your side, try to explain your point of view and try to have a conversation. But if they don't feel like having a conversation with you, then I think that's a clue to walk away. Alright guys, so this was it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I really liked filming this video, and this is something that I have been wanting to do since a while now, and I'm glad I did it. And it really got me thinking a lot, and I hope you got all your answers that you were looking for. And if this was a sign that you were looking for, I hope you got it and I hope you acknowledge it. Yeah, so that's it for today's video, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon, don't forget that, and also follow me on my Instagram. I'll see you guys in my next video. I love you guys so much.